What is up, baseheads? YouTube, Facebook, all car audio enthusiasts. It's the OG, your boy Soda Pop Kid, coming to you direct. Down here in my storage unit that I turned into a garage, and I want to say this. There's a good chance that I may be moving out of here by the end of November into a new place in December. I found someone that's willing to rent me their garage at a house where one of their relatives owns a house, but they live with them. They don't live in the house, but they own the house. Okay, and the garage is just empty, and it will be $80 cheaper a month than this here. You know, the size of it is different and all, but it should work out because it has electricity in it, yada, yada, yada. I'll be able to throw a heater in there if I want, and so on and so forth. The only other thing is to see if the car, how easy it would be for my car to fit in and out of there, because the width is a little bit different. The length, this is a 10 by 30, so that one is only 22 feet deep, but it's like something like at the end of it is like 22 or more feet wide. So, you know what I mean? It will work out because there's a garage, and then it has two separate doors you can actually walk in and out if I don't want to open up the main big garage door. All right, that's the first thing I need to mention. And they need to clean the place out, man. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in there they just were storing in there, and they need to clean it all out, yada, yada, yada. So hopefully that happens that happens by the end of November, before December 1st. So I got one more month possibly left in here. All right, so that's all if and when. Okay, so, but what I want to talk about here, and I'm hoping I get some feedback from a lot of you electrical guys with this new alternator bracket that we talked about some videos ago that I designed, but I designed and cut everything out, but I had a friend of mine come and do all the welding, so we worked on this all together, me and Michael Simpson of Simpson Tire, and I've been basically doing a lot of tweaking with this thing. Okay, tweaking, yada, yada, yada. I talked to y'all about the electric water pump that I ended up putting on, and I may have to go back to a manual water pump for these specific reasons, man. Okay. You know, with the old bracket was crooked. Stuff was, not aligned straight, and I had to make things be aligned straight by offsetting pulleys and so on and so forth. Okay, I made a couple of changes on this over the last week, and what I did is I had these on here. I had these 80 amp Super Duty solenoids. I had two of these on, and I had them in the place of those 12-volt relays there. Them was 40 amps each. I got two on each side. I had one 80 amp Super Duty on each side. You know what I mean? And what's happening, this is what's happening. This is one of the issues I'm having. Between alternators 3 and 4, these two alternators here, for some odd reason, these things get extremely hot at fire up. Now, I haven't even fired the car up yet, and it's like only 45 degrees out here right now, and I haven't fired it up just yet. But one, let me get this out of the way, it's still squealing. I'm still getting squealing at startup. I've tried changing the belts. I've changed sizes of pulleys. I moved the pulleys from down there, and I moved them up so the belt would be smaller and tighter so it would get more surface rub. And I changed the belt. This is a Continental belt. And I was told by someone that the Continental belts are real good belts, and they are made of a different kind of rubber, but it doesn't stop it from squealing. So it didn't matter. I've changed a couple of things. I had some stuff straightened out and everything, and I still get the fire up chirping, you know what I mean? And that squeal goes for about maybe 10 seconds, and I have had it burn the belt off into the grooves, and I have had to clean it out of the groove several times, and so on and so forth. And even though this electric water pump works good as far as keeping this cooler, I may have to go back to a manual pump with the 6-inch pulley on it because that pulley gives it more surface wrap, and I never had that squealing issue at all when I had a manual water pump on there. Never had a squealing issue. Never had a chirping issue. You know what I mean? And it's starting to annoy me. And even though the manual water pump will be going in reverse rotation, the impeller, the only issue I've had with that is that it doesn't stay as cool. It doesn't keep it as cool as this electric one does. Okay, with the manual water pump, like on a hot day, like 80 degrees or better, it would, temperature would just be higher. You know what I mean? It would get up to 200, 215, sometimes 220 degrees. But whenever the car is moving, you know, on a highway, of course it's going to stay cooler when air from the highway is forced through the vents there. It's going to keep it cooler. You know what I mean? And I do have 4 12-inch fans on here. I got 2 pushers and 2 pullers. I've always had that. You know what I mean? The stronger the electric fans are, though, the cooler it would keep this. But, you know, the spall fans and all that is very expensive. Okay, and another thing. I've noticed that certain electric fans, if you're running 16-volt system, you know, I mean, some of them can't handle 16 volts and it may burn out the motor. So because of that, I've got those. I'll talk about them in a minute. But anyway, that's one thing. I'm tired of that chirping stuff. So there's this company called Flow Cooler, and they make special impellers for their water pumps, the company. And they make these special impellers made out of billet aluminum. And I was trying to get in touch with them to see if they can actually put an impeller on there that goes in reverse rotation. Instead of going clockwise, go counterclockwise. And I called and left them a message. They haven't got back to me. You know what I mean? And so, but looking at their water pumps online, that impeller is real nice. It's a real big impeller. And it looks like that it can spin in both directions the way that it's designed, because the impellers are not bent, you know, arc to go in one direction. And that water pump's $158 compared to water pumps is only $59 or $42 or 70-something dollars. It's supposed to be a high volume water pump. And since I was able to get over with that regular water pump that I had on here, you know, it worked for some years. I've had that kind of a water pump going in reverse rotation for some years, and it worked. I mean, it never overheated. I just wanted something to keep it cooler. Like I said, the electric one do, but I need more surface wrap to stop the squealing. Is really getting on my nerves, and cleaning belt out of the grooves of these pulleys, man. It's really working my nerves. You know, so it don't matter what belt or what brand belt I put on here or how tight it is, because yeah, me tightening it, I know about all that. Me tightening it and so on and so forth, man, it would still slip. Still. And this thing is straight as an arrow, man. Straight as an arrow. So, the next thing, these two, let's go back to this. At startup, these 2 alternators here, one or the other or both, gets very hot immediately. As soon as it's fired up, it gets hot. Like, it doesn't even give it no time to go from being cool to hot. It immediately gets hot. And it may be this one day and this one the next day. And I don't know what's causing it, and I've been changing things to try to find out what's actually drawing from these for immediate startup for them to get hot that fast. You know, so with that being said, man, I just pretty much gave up because they get hot quick. And those two over there would take their good old time. So in other words, within a minute or so, these may be like 136 degrees. And then these ones over here only be 99 degrees. You see where I'm coming from? But but then it seems like these only reach a certain high temperature, and then eventually these ones will catch up to the temperature of those ones. But they get hot quick, and I don't know what's causing it. Now, I did take one of the alternators in to get looked at, and nothing was wrong with it. You know what I mean? They couldn't find anything wrong with it that would maybe causing this to happen. And it would, I'm telling you, the charge stud, what a charge stud is, that whole piece right there would be scalding hot, man, within a minute. So I just said, forget it, just ignore it. Because I started checking a whole lot of stuff. I started checking the voltage relay, the voltage regulators. I was checking them. I know that these are step down modules, but they're 40 amp. They're 40 amp step down modules. That's what they are. And they step down from 24 volts down to 13.8 or something like that is how these step down. So I got these running the electric fan, so that the 16 volts, I'm running like 15 plus volts. It don't hurt those motors. That's why, or else I would remove those and just let the fans run. But I'm afraid now they'll probably spin a whole lot faster without these and blow cooler without these, because these do slow it down because it goes from 24 to 13.8 volts. And 15 something volts is going to make those spin faster and blow cooler, but I don't want to be burning them out, and then I got to change them. That's what I don't want to do. Okay, I don't want to be doing that. All right, so I changed. This is the reason why I went to 40 amp. I did the relays separately instead of using the big 80 amp. I separated them, thinking that may be causing a problem. So I gave these their own relay instead of them sharing a relay. I gave each voltage regulator their own relays, their very own relays. That's what I did. I gave them 40 amp. These don't even draw 40 amps between two of them. But I gave them their own 40 amp relay, thinking maybe that might be that might stop it. You know what I mean? I thought maybe it's probably a field wire plug. Plugs may be bad, maybe on them. You know what I mean? I added more grounds. I added another ground set, another ground mount here, aluminum, a ground mount the other day. So these can run straight to their own ground instead of running there, because I wanted it to be cleaner. Now it's a cleaner by running there. You know what I mean? Which I need to do there, technically. I need to make those run to that, but I got a lot of stuff going on down there. I got grounds galore going down there. And I don't know, that's a good ground, man. It's a ground, just 2 0 gauges hitting that. I got 2 0 gauges hitting that. You know what I mean? I come over here and I had 1 0 gauge. I got 2 0 gauges hitting there, but I got one more that jumps there. You know what I mean? And I was told you never can have enough grounds. You know what I mean? But this electric water pump is probably going to be getting off of here so I can go back to a full wrap, because the only thing that I could say for this is it needs more wrap. That's the only thing I can say. This thing is tight, bro. I told y'all, it's tight. It's not too tight either, because if I loosen it, it'll squeal more. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the issue I'm having. Now, some of you guys, you might say, oh, so that maybe you may be getting a draw from somewhere, and I'm trying to find out where I'm getting a draw. This affecting these. That should be affecting the whole thing, not just these. It should be affecting all of them. They all should be getting hot, not just these two. Not unless it's because all of this is going on their side, maybe, and a lot of different stuff is being pulled from this, which shouldn't be anything that can hurt a 190 amp hour C-Max lithium battery, bro. That shouldn't even be that should be something that big bank of batteries will laugh at now. Not unless I got some bad cells in there, but why would I have bad cells when this thing stays charged? It stays charged. It stays charged. You know what I mean? So it ain't like it dies or nothing. And I have a charger on it. Let me show it to you. I don't even have that. I don't even have the trunk open. You know, a lot less. You know, these can't be even drawing a whole 40 amps, man, because those fans are only 7 amps apiece. So technically, all 4 of those fans can just go to one of these if I wanted it to. You know what I mean? But I got 2 fans per. You know what I mean? I like being on the safe side. You know what I mean? So that's the issue with this. That I'm fighting. And I'm fighting these issues, man. You know what I mean? You know, after going through all of that, changing it up and putting a new bracket on, and the other bracket just was crooked. And this bracket is strong, it's new, it's strong. I'm gonna end up taking it off and painting it all black and making it look good. And blah, 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 blah. And I did tell y'all I had plexiglass windows with here now because the lever broke on this as well. And I got an idea. I'm going to end up, this is one whole piece. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting it in half. See that middle bar? I'm going to get another middle bar like that welded on. Then I'm going to cut those in half. And then I'll be able to stack them together. I'll be able to stack them together and make it real thick. And then it'll be easier for me, like on a hot day, to remove. I can just remove this side and have air get through, or just remove this side. Or when I go to a competition, it'll be easy to remove part of this for burping reasons. All right, let me open up this hood real quick. I got one hand here, y'all. I got one hand. As a matter of fact, hey people, I'm gonna sit this down real quick. I'm gonna set this phone down real quick, people. Real quick. While let me pull this out. Give me a second. Lift this hood up. Sorry about that, people. Sorry about that, people. All right. Let's get back to this. All right. So, like I was trying to tell y'all, there's I got this charger. I just wanted to show you this charger. This charger, if y'all remember me telling you, it keeps this 190 amp hour bank charged, man. If this thing drops down into the low 14s, it automatically comes on and charges back up and then shuts itself off. Okay, so it stays charged. I don't know if it does that one too many times, it affects the battery. It shouldn't, because it takes it up to like 16.8 if it even goes up that far, and then it shuts off. So that's, you know, can't be the issue. The battery stays fresh. You know what I mean? So that's the end of that, man. So that's all for today, people. That's all for today. I'm going to post this up on YouTube. And any of you guys got any advice for why this is happening, electrical guys? You know what I mean? Why those is getting hot fast, like very fast. And as far as belt squeal, nobody can help with that, man. I just know I need to go back to a full wrap. A full wrap is what I need to do. And just deal with it. Like I said, it ain't like the engine's ever overheated on, I mean, well, it has on the technicality, but like it's never overheated on just driving around or nothing like that. So I'm going back to a manual water pump. And once again, you know, this may be the last month I'm in here. Okay. They'll be moving out. They'll be $80 cheaper. Yada, yada, yada. All right. If it happens, man, they got to get that garage cleaned out, man. They got to get on their P's and Q's. And it's helping them as it's helping me. You know what I mean? And that's that. But it's your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid, coming to you direct. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.